Hi, I'm Ken Kessler, and welcome to the Sounds of Christmas podcast. If you're new to this podcast, I want to start by saying thanks for joining us. If you're not new, welcome back. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Now, to avoid any confusion, I want to start off by saying there won't be any music played here. This is a place for conversation. I'll talk about Christmas music and some related topics, sometimes by myself and sometimes with guests. If you're looking for music, just go to soundsofchristmas.com and click on the tree or the player on the front page or on the Listen Now page. We play the best variety of Christmas music all year long. Well, except in October, when we play the best variety of Halloween music. First and most importantly, Happy New Year. I hope 2022 is your best year yet. 2021 has been pretty terrific for the Sounds of Christmas, and I wanted to say thank you for being a part of that, whether you listen to this podcast or listen to the Sounds of Christmas station, or both. The Sounds of Christmas podcast is set to pass 50,000 downloads this weekend. Well, in the grand scheme of things, or at least as far as that goes in the world of podcasting, that may not be a lot, but it seems like a lot to me, especially since this podcast just began 11 months ago. While that milestone might give some the desire to pause and reflect, I'd rather look ahead at the year to come. For this podcast, I'll continue posting episodes year-round. This is the third episode this week, after a few weeks that had one new episode each weekday. The frequency of new episodes is going to ease up now, obviously, going back to a similar schedule as the beginning of last year. I'll try to get one new episode posted every Monday, but there may be a week or two where that just doesn't happen. I do have a wish list of people I'd like to have on as guests, including a lot of artists who had advertised on the Sounds of Christmas station over the years, but I haven't necessarily released any new Christmas music lately. I'd like to check in with them, see what they're up to, talk about the Christmas music they did release, and knowing me, probably ask them about making some new Christmas music too. I have a couple surprises in store, at least I hope I do, with some people I'm working on scheduling for the next month or two, but I don't have anything set yet, so I can't reveal anything at this point. And I don't say that to tease you. I just want you to know that I am working on some things that I think you'll like. The Sounds of Christmas station will continue on, playing the best variety of Christmas music, commercial-free, through the end of September. Then, once again, I'll switch things over for October, and we'll be playing the best variety of Halloween music. And then on November 1st, 2022, a brand new season of the Sounds of Christmas will begin. Between now and October, I'll do what I can to keep things fresh, including adding a bunch of songs that I didn't get around to playing this past season. Some I just didn't find in time. Others were released late, like that last week leading up to Christmas. And others I just wasn't able to fit in. I'm recording this on New Year's Eve, and I noticed that we still have people listening all over the United States and in at least 40 other countries around the globe. And while that's nice to see, I know full well it probably won't stay like that. And really, that's fine. I mentioned earlier that this weekend, this podcast should cross the 50,000 download mark. And I don't mention that to brag. It's more out of surprise and gratitude, which is the same feeling that I have seeing all those who are listening to the station tonight. I didn't start doing any of this for the numbers, and I really hope it doesn't sound like that's the case. In fact, I fully expect the numbers on both the station and this podcast to drop significantly over the next week or so, with neither really going up much until next fall. And that is also fine. My only hope is that at some point during the next year, when you feel like you could use a little Christmas spirit, that you remember we're still on and you can listen anytime. And if you love Christmas music enough that you want to hear me and my guests talk about it, I hope you remember this podcast is still chugging along. And if you followed or subscribed on whatever podcast service you use, all our new episodes will be there waiting for you when you feel like checking back in. Thanks so much for listening to this podcast and to the Sounds of Christmas station. It has been wonderful sharing part of the season with you. And I look forward to sharing more with you, whether it's later in January or April or July or next fall once the new season gets underway, or even if you wait to listen until next December. Thank you for sharing the season with the Sounds of Christmas. And may you always believe in Santa Claus.